Hey there. So today I'm going to do an interview. As the title says, I have AI interviewing me, but let me get some clarification. So I just thought that it would be an interesting thing to do, like a Q&A and such, but I don't really know how to do that, especially with somebody as, I guess, small as me on this platform. I mean, it's cool that I'm over 2K. The thing is, though, I'm not that well known, actually, and I just thought that, I always like Q&As and videos, so that's why I figured, why not give it a shot and see. Oh, give me a second. Test. Okay, cool. So I had my headphones plugged in and I was like, oh snap, it's audio coming in, but it just tested it, and yeah, it is, and it may be a little louder now, especially because maybe it's because the mic picked up from there, but but anyways, so that being said, like I said, I like Q&As, so I just thought I asked ChatGPT, hey, give me like 25 questions and I'll answer them, and hey, maybe sometime in the future I'll go ahead and do that. So it's like, it's kind of weird to like look at yourself and then you're trying to check yourself, and at the same time you gotta look at the camera directly. Anyways, so let me go ahead and answer these questions. Let's see. So these will be as it goes by different sections. All right, so getting started is the first section. All right, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Gosh, because it's been years. I always wanted to have one. And I mean, like when I first opened it up, it was just like, because you gotta have a channel, I guess, in order to or an account to watch stuff, to have favorites. And then, but as I've watched stuff over the years, I pretty much was like, yo, I want to do stuff like that. But I never really had the time, or I probably did have the time, but I just didn't know where to start. And then I think it was just last year when I started doing streams and such and posting videos, I was like, you know what, why not take it more serious and just go for it? And yeah, there we go. How do you decide on your niche or type of content? I don't know if I have a niche. Okay, so I'm into different things. As you could probably tell, really, I circle around these things. Okay, Christian content, of course. Skits, little funny lip sync type stuff, blah blah blah, all that. I like to draw, so there's that. And yeah, so it's just a matter of what you're into. A lot of those game things, I guess that's a niche for me, but that's just because it was on TikTok and I saw a lot of people doing that, so I just figured, why not do that? But I think I think honestly it's kind of hard to say, because I'm still trying to figure that out, what's a niche for me. I kind of want to do a variety hour type thing, but I honestly want to go into more depth stuff, things like video game reviews, video essays and such. Honestly, doing that thing the Sakura thing was actually a step up. That's, I guess you could say that's technically my first video essay that I've ever done. And then as well as the Move On, that was the first, kind of anime edit, me speaking to the mic and then throwing edits. So yeah, I think that was really good, and I want to do more stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, overall, I'll just say how I found it was just it just went by the stuff I liked. All right. What was your first video about, and how do you feel about it now? Oh, Okay, so actually the first video on here was like a short I did with like, it was like a clock, and like I played it, but actually the first video where I recorded myself and I uploaded, I think that was the one about Pilgrim's Progress, and I was like, yeah, like it was about Pilgrim's Progress. I was comparing the movie, the animated movie, to the book and such. And how I feel about it now is I really want to go back and work on that, but actually do a legit video. Like, that was like just me, like when I was just sitting in front of the camera and I'm just like, oh, I'll just talk, blah blah blah. You know, there was no like edits and all that jazz like what I'm doing now, or even like background music. It was just me in front of the camera just talking. But honestly, I would like to actually record that again and actually write it now and put more points into it and have more visuals with it. So yeah, it's kind of cringy, but I think it's that whole thing of like, you know, when you're a creator and you just like, you know, you've grown and such, and when you look back at your old stuff, you're like, I did that, but it's amazing how far I've gotten. I'll say that. Did you have any creators you looked up to when you started? Oh, I had plenty, man. Like, yeah. Like, I used to watch lots of, as far as like, you know, review stuff or comedy. I gotta give it to Nostalgia Critic. I like stuff like him. Bennett the Sage. I liked, you know, Jason Otaku. I liked her stuff. I liked a lot of like Channel Awesome stuff. I got into also Happy Console Gamer. Like a lot of like some of my niches also, I guess you could say, I have that, I guess that sort of vibe of like, you don't really know me, but I'm just doing my thing. So and like I said, I like people who talk about what they like. So that's like, I like people like that. There's Super Eye Patch Wolf. I've been getting into K-Bash a lot lately, and I really like his stuff. And to me, it's like his stuff and Modular, their stuff is like, it's like top tier to me. Like, I love watching their stuff. The Modular one, by the way, I will definitely recommend the Xenosaga, the Xenogear, not Xenosaga, Xenogear video. And K-Bash is like, you know, take a pick, but I always go back to watching the Persona videos. So yeah, so there's a lot of people I get into, and I watch a lot of shorts. And as far as art, I can't think of a lot of people. I guess you could say I liked Happy's Charm. I think that was the name. I really enjoyed a lot of her work and such as far as the artist goes, and that kind of made me be like, man, I really want to like record myself drawing, coloring my drawings. So yeah, how long did it take for your channel to gain traction? It took a long time, to be honest. Like, okay, so again, if you look at my channel, it says I made it since like, I think it will say something like 2014 or whatever. And I started doing some things back in 2022 when I was trying to promote a game that I was making. It was a tabletop role-playing game called ES Punk, which I have the demo out, and I would like to get back to making that. But the thing is that the most I got from doing all of that was like maybe I think 30. And then it was really just last year when I started getting more people, because like I said, I was posting a lot of the videos that based off the games I was playing. Like, I was like all my live streams and such, and then I think it was really when I started doing shorts, that's when it started really picking up, because I was just like, oh, like, people like this, so okay. So yeah, that was the first section. All right, let's get going. All right. What does a typical day look like when you're planning or filming content? I because of my chaotic scheduling, it's really hard for me to do that. To like legit plan out stuff. Like there's times where it's like I have an idea for a certain video I want to make. Was particularly the long form videos. Like there's like I want to make those kind of videos. But it's just like a matter of like scheduling. Like I need to like have like a firm scheduling when it comes to like filming stuff. But shorts, that's why I recommend anybody doing shorts, like, you know, the TikTok stuff and blah blah blah, and you know, if you put it on YouTube, like there you go, because of the fact that it actually is helpful in a way to getting traction in some sense, and you could do it on the fly. Like all it is just like, you know, if you find like something in lip sync or you want to comment on, you could just do it anywhere at any time. And so that's usually the case for me. It's like if I find something inspiring or whatever, I'm like, ooh, I want to do something with that, then yeah. So, but as far as longer content, I definitely need to like plan out and all that jazz. Oh, and by the way, the second section is called content creation process. I probably would edit it, but anyways, how do you come up with new video ideas? Again, like the previous one, is sometimes it's just on the fly. But like the stuff where I'm like, I really want to go into, like I say, like, you know, I consider them long form, like regular videos on like YouTube and such. Those are based off of things I like and what I want to talk about or what I want to do with that. And then sometimes for me, I pick a subject within that thing, and it's kind of like doing a regular essay. You know, I would be like, oh, I want to talk about this book or this book or this book, and then if I talk about this book, like what's a certain aspect I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about the characters, the themes, and blah blah blah, and then, you know, breaking that down, like let's just say if I pick a theme, okay, which themes I want to. So that's kind of the idea. It's kind of how I go about it. And like for instance, that, like I said, that Sakura one, I don't remember how I came up with that one. I think that one was just like I kind of just like, I think I was like, I kind of just thought about like, man, like Sakura doesn't really get much love and such. Like, you know, she's like, you know, there's reasons why, but you know, my thing was just like, I felt like she had a lot of potential, and like I still think it would have been cool if Inner Sakura was like a stand type ability that she came up with. Like that would have been so helpful, you know. But I don't know, what can you do? So yeah.
Hey, me from the future. I just want to say another thing to that is what does help is also that I talk with, you know, for instance, my fiance and friends, and they give me suggestions on things to do, and I do that. Especially with some of the Christian ones, like I'll go through an audio and I'll share that with my fiance, and we'll be like, I think it will go great with this part of the Bible, and you know, so I like to bounce ideas off as well. So that's why sometimes I ask if you have an idea, share them with me, and I'll see what I can do.
Do you script your videos or go with a more spontaneous approach? It depends. Like the Sakura one, I actually did write down. And so did the Move On one. Those I actually wrote down. I want to get into writing this stuff, but it's just like, like I don't know why. Like it's so different from when I was in college. Like in college, I could do that, but like, you know, when you're out, I think you're just like, I don't really have the time. So it's just, you know, it's just crazy and such. So I mostly have to do like a spontaneous approach and such with a lot of my stuff, so especially with the shorts. Long form stuff, it's more like I wouldn't say they're scripted, like, but there is a lot more thought behind that. Like, you know, this is a thing I really want to discuss and the points I want to make. Even if I didn't write it down, I feel more, I guess you could say, refined in how I go about it. So yeah. How much time do you spend editing, or do you do it yourself? And do you do it yourself? I thought you said or. I was like, wait, sorry. Anyways, yeah. I feel like only because of how I feel, like it depends on the video. It really depends on the video, and how much time I have. Like for instance, like the long form videos, like the Sakura one and the Move On one, those took like a whole work day. I think pretty much a whole work day. And it was like, doing remote, and I was like off to the side, just like, I'll just do this. Yeah, those took like a work day and plus. And so, like, if I really got into it, I would, I feel like if I did really, really long videos, it could take a while. Even like, I would say, even believe it or not, even the editing of the Pokemon card one, that took like about an hour or so to do. And when I'm really into it, like, I don't mind. And yes, I do all of my editing right now, because I'm like, there's nobody else to do this stuff. And I just want to point out real quick, I actually love editing. I actually like it. I like it a lot. When I discovered, the way I discovered it was with one of my art videos, and just like splicing it and such, and trying to choose the right blah blah blah, and it was just like, you know what, I really like this. It's like, I don't know why. I don't know. It's just, I like going into something, I don't know, and just taking it apart bit by bit and really like, okay, what can I do? How can I toy with this? And it's almost like a form of storytelling and such, with editing. And so it's really cool to do that. And yeah, it's so it's really fun. What gear or software do you use for filming and editing? Lots of times, I'm just gonna be real, I use my phone and my laptop. As far as filming goes, like as far as editing, let me look on my computer real quick. What do I have on here? Okay, I have CapCut on my PC. On my phone, I use UCut, but also I use TikTok. So yeah, those are my programs and such, and that's my gear. I mean, I got this is a snowball, ice blue, and excuse me. Also, I have this little tripod. This is for my art videos, and sometimes I use this little guy. It's like this little phone stand thing if I just want to place my phone down. I also have a webcam, but that was like for like that was for like when I was doing gaming stuff, and I still want to go back to gaming, by the way. So yeah. Oh, and there's like OBS, like for recording when it came to the gaming stuff, so there's that too. Yeah. All right, the next section, I'm gonna go through these a little bit quick because I'll probably come back a little later. All right, channel growth and audience. All right, what strategies helped you grow your audience the most? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what works, man. I'm just be real. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, because I tried like a lot of things that, it took a lot of advice. Things like the, use shorts. the art stuff, like, you know, just editing, finding music, blah blah blah. I think it's just like, you know, trying to appeal to us, our audience. And I guess the one thing that kind of helped me was the game stuff, which was kind of lame. It was like I said, like I did these TikTok videos of like these games that were on there, and I recorded them, and then it's like, okay, like, well, I guess that worked. And I guess that is the one strategy I will say that's helped me, is because I used to try to be, you know, when people say find your niche and all that jazz, you know, I would be like, I don't like that, you know, because I want to be different. But honestly, I will say, if you're trying to grow, like, see the thing that actually is getting views and such, and play with it. It's like, even like, for instance, like one of the more recent things I've done was the, you know, like the anime edits and such. It's like I kind of was feeling going into the Sakuga, as well as like just the AMV type stuff, and I've seen like those are getting views. So it's like, you know, if it gets you views, play with that, you know. So that's the thing. How do you engage with your community? I mean, I use like, it's kind of weird. It's like, you know, I mean, I post on social media, and whenever people comment, I always try to reply to them, like, you know, just saying thank yous or whatever, or trying to have conversations with them. And I do the post. That's the best I could tell you right now. I wish I could do more with that, but I don't know. Have you ever had a video go viral? If so, what was it, and why do you think it blew up? Okay. So one of my shorts is one of those games, and like a lot of those games went, I wouldn't say viral, but they got high in the numbers. Especially those like anime versus type ones. And there was this one I did. It was the Naruto versus Obito video, and I have no idea why. Like, I remember I was sitting down, I submitted it, and then I looked at my phone, and it was like up in like, it was like a couple of days too. It was like, I think the first day it was kind of like small, and I was like, okay, like, you know, kind of like maybe around like 1,000 or so. And then for some reason, out of the blue, it like blew up to like it got up to like pretty much like in the hundreds of thousands. I was like, what? And yeah, it was like, it stopped at like around 800K. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it blew up. It apparently got popular in certain countries and such. Guess people like Obito. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. How do you deal with negative comments or criticism? It depends. Usually, like, I'm gonna be real, I actually like delete some of when they get real nasty. I tend to delete those comments, you know, or if they get like too crazy, I'll just like delete them, because I'm not about that. Now, as far as criticism goes, you know, if it's constructive criticism, that's one thing. I don't mind that. Like, I'll keep that, and I'll be like, you know what, that's okay. Like, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for telling me that. But otherwise, if you're just being nasty, you know, and you know, whatever, I'm gonna delete you. I'm just like, no, I'm not putting up with that. So just saying. Have you collaborated with other YouTubers? No. How did the experiences go? I don't know. I wish I could. If I could I definitely would like to do. I'm gonna say this, I don't want to do like skit stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to do that, because I feel like it's kind of like, you know, some people do it. I'm just not a big fan of that. However, I like the ones where you can, like, I like to do like podcast type thing or like an interview type thing, or if we were talking about the same thing, you know, I could chime in my ideas and such or whatever, and I think that would be cool to do. So yeah.
Me again. So I just want to elaborate some things. One, I guess technically I've done duets on TikTok, and those are usually fun. So I would say like, yeah, those are okay. But I don't really consider those collaborations because it's just I pick a video and I just like lip sync or whatever to those. So yeah, I mean I've had some creators be like, hey, why don't you duet me or whatever, and it's like or react, and it's like okay. So there's that. The other thing is, as far as skits go, I meant like, like say for instance, like a video essay, and it's like, oh, here's a quick cameo of this one person, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I might like that, I don't know, but I wouldn't mind doing a skit like, you know, a comedy skit, you know, that I was in with somebody else. That would be okay. Um, and podcast too. I definitely want to do a podcast. I think that would be cool to do. All right, that's it.
All right, I'm gonna try to breeze through this real quick. Monetization and business side. How do you monetize your channel? I don't have any money. I have not made any money yet. Was there a moment when you realized I could actually do this full time? I have not reached that moment yet. I'm hoping to. That would be great. It may happen depending on how videos go. It may happen. That's all I can tell you. How do you balance? Oh, what's the biggest brand deal or partnership you've landed? Not really much. Like, I think the best I could say is on TikTok. I did like I did a video for like the ear cleaning thing. That's the most I've done, and I haven't made money anything from that yet. So yeah. How do you balance creative freedom with sponsorship obligations? Again, I have not gotten there yet. Maybe I should start saying like how I would. I think I would be like, it depends. It depends on how it goes. Like I might make some videos would be like it's all for me, and then some are like, hey, this is like making this video for this person. I don't know, but I definitely would try to look into those things and see if they'll like align with my moral compass as well as just the channel vibe in general. So yeah. And what advice would you give to creators just starting out financially? I don't know what to tell you guys. Just starting out financially, I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't know, like I said, like to give just starting out financially. I will say this: if you're, I'm gonna answer it this way. I remember, I think it was Gus Johnson. He talked about once upon a time. He was like, you don't have to go crazy. Like he did a lot of his videos on his phone. I honestly would say like just use what you can, and if you want to get like better experience stuff, okay, fine, but start out small and cheap, and then see where it goes. Because the thing is that like if you go for broke and you know you're just like, I'm gonna buy like Adobe and I'm gonna buy it's a high-end camera, blah blah blah, I'm gonna buy all these things, and it gets you nowhere, it's gonna suck. You're probably gonna like hate yourself, and you're probably gonna be upset. I don't know, but that's why part of the reason I think I'm okay with where I'm at is because I haven't really delved into a lot of stuff. I mean, the most I buy probably, I mean, for gaming was like I bought another monitor, but I got it at a pawn shop for like $60. And I want to say I bought like one of those small mics, and it was like $18, and I can't find it now, so I don't know where it's at. But yeah, and I hardly even use that. But I'm going back to this. So, what does that tell you? And I bought this. I think I bought this on Amazon years ago, but I can't remember how much did I pay for you? I don't remember. Yeah. Anyways, probably like $25 at best. That's probably what I would have done. I would have been like 20 something bucks. But yeah, if you're gonna start out, like, start out small. That's the best I could tell you. Okay, personal and long-term vision. Okay, we're in the last stretch. All right. How has being a YouTuber changed your life personally or professionally? I think I would say personally, it's helped me be more confident in myself. I realize, like, for instance, I don't like the sound of my voice, and of course, I'm very self-critical of myself. So therefore, I'm like, I don't really. That's part of the reason too. I didn't want to do it for a while, but I think it kind of helped me be able to be like, you know what, I'll go ahead and make whatever. And there are people who actually will be okay with that. Excuse me. And then I will say also, it's helping discover things about myself. Like I said, I've heard stories where people be like, oh my gosh, editing, blah blah, and I understand, like, it can feel a little daunting at times, but honestly, like I said, I've grown to be like, yo, I love this. Like, I love editing, and I did not think I would, but I did. So yeah. And then professionally, I would say that, I mean, I'm not paid, but I think it's helped me be able to, it's helped me to recognize, like, okay, like, to humble yourself. Like I said before, I didn't want to do the whole niche thing. I don't want to do the whole, like, oh, whatever, like, whatever, so, like, use that. But it's like, honestly, that's the thing to do. Like, it's kind of like when you're working, like, let's just say retail, and you sell items or whatever, the boss at times is like, we don't care how you did it, like, just do it. Sometimes it might be like, okay, you got to do it within the realms of, their protocol, but at the same time, get it done, you know what I mean? And so that's the thing with, like, video making, is that YouTube, you kind of recognize, like, okay, you try to be within the realms of YouTube, although yes, but at the same time, you're like, if this worked, man, it worked, and what can you do? What's the hardest part of being a content creator? Definitely the keeping the zealness and the joy of doing it. Doing it because you just love doing it. And that's the thing, like, I love making videos. I like to, create stuff and just post stuff and whatever. But it does get, like, when you're at, like, a plateau, or you even see, like, a slight decline in, like, your subscriber count or follower count, whatever, and you're like, I'm trying my best out here, and, like, you're putting your stuff out there, it can feel daunting. It can feel very, like, discouraging, that you're just like, I don't want to keep doing this. But the thing is, you just gotta be like, look, if you like doing this, if this is your outlet, then go for it, especially if you want to make it into the business. Like, that's the thing, you're just gonna have to keep doing it because you love it, but if you're like, I tried this, and that's okay if you give up or you stop doing it, but at least we do it, like, kind of go like the Matt Pat way, just on your own terms, and maybe after a while, but otherwise, just do you, man. What do you do when you're creatively burnt out? I've been there. Yeah, I find something else to do, and for me, creative burnout, it depends on what I'm doing. So, like, for instance, if I'm constantly making videos, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm kind of tired of making these type of videos. Then I might be like, okay, maybe I'll go, maybe I'll do another type, or just in general, if I don't feel like making a video, you know, I might go write, or I started going back into writing, or I'll draw, or whatever. I'll brainstorm a game, something. For me, that's my thing, is doing all that. But then if it's like, I just in general, I don't even want to create. I'm just burnt out from creating. Then I would just go walk. I like to listen to music and jam out, watch some videos and such. Just spend time with people as best as I can. But yeah, it just like kind of just like process everything and then just go back into it. That's the best I can tell you. Where do you see your channel in the next 3 to 5 years? If I keep going, and like the end of this year's goal is 5K, and what I'm hoping is that like I can make that before I even get to the end of the year. Like it was like last year, I remember I started out saying like, okay, I want to get to like 500 by the end of the year. I think it was like I got to like 100, and then I was like, okay, let's make it like 300, and then I got to 300. I was like, okay, 500. And then I was just like, okay, at the end of the year, let's do 1,000. And it was really shocking the last couple of months where I got to 1,000. And so I'm kind of like, you know, in the same spot here where I'm like, okay, I kind of want to do like, what if I got to 5K? You know, I could have put in like 2.5, you know, 25, you know, but 2,500. But I realized that I was able to break that, and so I'm hoping to break that. And then if they keep going up, maybe maybe in the 10Ks, somewhere in the, maybe in the 10Ks, maybe even 100K, and that'd be kind of cool. You know, I imagine if I keep going, I can see it like doing more content, like more furnished content and such, like things like I said, like the video essays with the actual, like, you know, footage of games or whatever, going into all that and having the time to do that. So I think that would be a thing. And then last question, what legacy do you hope to leave behind through your content? This is a good question because it's the fact that so one of my dreams ever since I was like, I think I was in middle school when I first thought of this dream, was I wanted to inspire others in some way. And so I hope that I can inspire people to create, or to speak their minds on things that they wish to do. I hope to glorify God, of course, and be able to reach out to people and speak of the word and to evangelize in some way. I hope to get people involved in things, like, you know, or get interested in stuff. But yeah, I think that if I had to leave a legacy, you know, it's like I said, like, of course, like, you know what, like, first and foremost, like, glorify God, but then also just inspire you to want to create, that you just say, you know what, I want to make stuff that I like this guy did. Like, this guy made some cringy stuff, and this guy, he just, like, you know, he just talked about random things, but you know what, he seemed like he enjoyed it, or he, you know, made like films or like monologues or whatever, and we like that, and I like that, and I want to do that too. So I think that's the legacy I want to leave behind. So yeah, that was all 25 questions, and I gotta give it to this. Like, this was actually really good. Like, probably like a more basic question, and of course that's how AI works and such. But yeah, and I'll tell you this: like, if you want to make a video, if you want to, yes, if you want to make a video, just make a video. Like I said, use your phone, whatever. Take the time, just do it. Who cares? You know, just put. You know, if you want to put yourself out there, there's various ways. Like, I had one person tell me, "Oh, like, well, my friend doesn't want to make a video because of the fact that like all this stuff happened and blah blah." It's like, okay, you could. I'm sorry that happened. That sucks, but you know, you can also just cover yourself up. Like, nobody, like, in a way of like, you know, people use avatars. You don't have to like actually show your face, or you just use your voice, and that's that. But anyways, what I was gonna say was, if you have questions and you want me to answer them in a future video, by all means, leave them in the comments and such, and if God wills it, I'll make another video. I'll make another Q&A video based off of it. So yeah, in case, you guys take care and have a blessed one. Peace.